It is a family affair. To my left, Mr. Kamasi Washington.
Hey, how you doing, man? Good to be here. Good to be here.
Oh, man. And, of course, the brother who started it all, Daddy, Rickey Washington.
How you doing? Doing well.
Good, man. Well, you know, we watched these guys, man, start in L.A., man. Been in L.A. doing the music for such a long time, and now you got the West Coast Get Down showcasing worldwide, man.
Yeah, it's been amazing. We've been hitting it hard. Yeah, all over the world, all over Europe and Canada, U.S., Japan. It's been amazing ride.
So we talked about, you know, being in the studio with everybody's projects and putting your project together. I mean, you're the first one out the gate.
Yeah. But Miles has a record coming out. He actually just released another single, Young Lion, yesterday, and there's a lot of music to come for sure.
Well, I mean, Rickey, you've been teaching a lot of these cats for a long time, and all of this is like it's like a family of brothers, man. And you've been the dad musically, kind of watching everybody come up, and you've seen it all come together.
Yeah, it's a blessing. It's a blessing because the music has to move forward, and I think the music's in good hands. And I really thank Kamasi for recognizing that the elders need their just due, and also an opportunity to speak, you know, and to share the melodies of their hearts and their souls, and to blend that in harmony with the new generation, and to even go back another generation, so that we make a symphony of music.
We're talking about generations with the West Coast Get Down, and this is kind of only really the beginning, man. You've been doing your music for a long time. You finally got a chance to get it heard, man. And I mean, how does it feel, man, just to be this player? I mean, you're the only person that I know really from our neighborhood in Los Angeles that I can say that we've watched come up and really blow up, man. And you're the same cat, and the music that's always been powerful, the world now knows.
Yeah, I mean, well, there's been a door open for LA and music, you know, because our musical heritage in LA has always been rich. It's just kind of been like kind of in the dark a little bit. Like people just didn't know about it, you know. But now, like people like me and Thundercat and Terrace Martin and you know, now Miles and sure Brandon and Ryan and everybody else who've been making music and really were passed something down for people like my dad and like, you know, the Nordy Debbins and the Sunship Theists and who got it from Horace Tapscott and who got it from Gerald Wilson, and you know, this whole heritage we've had in Los Angeles is finally getting a chance to be shared with the world, and I think that's a beautiful thing because I think we have something to add. We've been over here marinating on it for a few generations, you know, and so it has a lot of depth and it has a lot of individuality to it because, you know, that's where it's coming. That's where it's been coming from for so many years, and you know, we grew up playing this music without any real place to take it. You know, it was just because we loved it. So the music is like really, really just full of love and like full of like kind of true feelings, and I think that being shared with the world is something that, you know, is going to be beneficial.
Yeah. Well, what I recognize is you coming up, playing with, you know, Gerald Wilson and many of these musicians that you played with. And so now here's Kamasi, but you take the music forward. So you're like pulling the history of all this music together with you, but you're not just playing the history of the music, man. You're turning it into a new futuristic sound that matches the new generation.
Yeah, I mean that's what you really have to do in music. I mean that's all you can really do. You know, you can't redo what someone else already did. You know, you can't be anyone under yourself. You know, I can't play like John Coltrane any more than I can talk like him. You know what I mean? But you learn from what people did before you. It's almost like if you want to keep building up, you want to keep making the music grow, you have to learn what happened before you so you don't have to repeat that. It's like, okay, this is what was made before me, you know, someone made this. Okay, well, I'll stand here and I'll try to make that, you know, and that's, you know, what you can do as a musician is just you look at what's come before you, and that kind of shapes who you are, and then you try to create something that represents who you are.
Well, you know, you've always kept it real, man. You've always been a teacher. It's always been in your heart to get music into these guys when they were kids. Like I said, man, you think you knew Thundercat when he was like with 2 or 3 years old, coming over there playing drums or something in your house, man. And you've watched them all grow up and turn into the powerhouses that they are, and you're a big part of that.
Yeah, I like to say it's important also to note that I did sacrifice to be a teacher, but you can't be a teacher if you don't know anything.
Yeah.
And you can't be a teacher if you can't demonstrate what you know. And you can't be a teacher unless you have a vision of excellence that you want to give to others. So I've always kept hope alive. I've always kept the dream of doing what I should be doing as a musician as well. And Kamasi has been grateful to notice that and to see that and to know that I'm a player as well as a teacher. You know, there are some teachers who are just teachers, but I can play. You know, not both for braggadocious way, but I held closely to the dream. But I needed to make a sacrifice because there are so many black men without fathers because they chose their career or a different lifestyle over their responsibilities. So I became a teacher out of the fact that I wanted to take care of my first responsibility and not have another generation of black children growing up fatherless, without a hope, without direction. So I knew music, and that's what I gave to Kamasi and his brothers, you know, and I felt that maybe one day I would get my chance. But wasn't until Kamasi asked me to come and play and to help out in different ways that blessing come back to me. And so I'm grateful.
Well, proud moments indeed, man. And, you know, you taking your dad and your family of friends, brothers all around the world, man. Let's go get this. Let's take it by storm. And then one by one, let's roll everybody out and support each other. That's one of the most beautiful things I've heard about in our music. And I don't know where else it exists like that.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it's about. I mean, it's, you know, in the end, life is the biggest thing, and, you know, love is the biggest part of life. So, you know, we all come from a place of love. And so for me, it's like a door that's open to me is a door that's open to everybody that I love. You know what I mean? So it's like, it wasn't even like a real big thought for me. It was just like, oh, you know, hey y'all, the door's open. Let's run through.
Right.
You know? So it was, yeah, I mean, I think that, and it's just, you know, I believe in all this music. So it's like, it's, you know, I want the world to hear, you know, what Ryan Porter can really do and what, you know, my friends can do, because part of who I am it comes from them.
Right.
You know what I mean? It doesn't just come from like the records I listen to, but these musicians I grew up with, they taught me a lot. You know, Ronald Bruner taught me a lot. You know, Stephen Bruner taught me a lot. So it's, you know, obviously Rickey Washington taught me a lot. You know, so to get the full picture, you know what I mean, of any of this, you kind of have to see all of us.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so how have you felt just being the first leader out of the gate, and just you're bringing everybody along, but you're also realizing, man, this is happening for all of us, man. I mean, tell us about some of these exciting new experiences that you've had taking flight on the road.
Well, it's one of those things where we always thought that it would happen, and we kind of, you know, we've been kind of sitting behind the line like, man, this door ever opened up, we'd run way up there somewhere. And so for it to open and for that to be happening, it feels good because it's gratifying. I mean, you work your whole life for something that you don't know you're gonna get. You know, I've been making music since I was 3 years old, and you know, even before my record came out, I was very blessed, and I had a lot of great opportunities to make music with a lot of amazing musicians. But you know, what you really work for is to express yourself. You know, it's great, and it's a blessing to be able to work with other people to express their vision and to push, you know, their dream. But in the end, like the work you really did was to express yourself. And so that ability and that opportunity for me is something that I definitely don't take for granted, because there was a time I didn't know if I was ever going to have it. And there have been musicians, great musicians before me, who never got that chance. you know, and it's still beautiful. Music is beautiful. I mean, it's the creation of music in and of itself is the greatest blessing. So the ability to play music, the ability to make music, to have that music inside yourself and be able to take it out is actually the greatest blessing. So I've always had the greatest blessing, but the ability to share it is a desire I think every musician has. Like, you want to share this thing that you're able to create.
Well, you heard it. Truth, honesty, love, devotion to family, friends, man, that's the powerhouse and the source behind the West Coast Get Down. My man, Kamasi Washington.
Oh, thank you, brother. Thank you.
Oh, man, thank you, man.
Yeah.
Rickey Washington.
Yes.
Man, you guys are beautiful cats, man. We've loved and appreciate you guys for years, man, and just so proud to see you take the world by storm, man. That's the West Coast Get Down right here on All Music Television.